You're finally growing up, my mother said, slicing into her salmon like she was performing surgery on my self worth. I'm proud of you for walking away from that phase. Scarlett raised her wine glass. To new beginnings. Valentine smirked. To not wasting your 20s on video games. I stared at the condensation sliding down my water glass, counting the drops like they were seconds I'd never get back. My name is Mackenzie. I'm 23, and according to my family, my greatest achievement is quitting the one thing that ever made me feel alive. Thanks, I said, forcing a smile that didn't touch my eyes. Really means a lot. The dining room was too bright. The chandelier above us sparkled like it was in on the joke. Mom had redecorated recently white marble floors, gold accents, chairs that looked like they belonged in a palace, not a suburban McMansion. Everything screamed money, status, curated perfection, including us. Except me. Scarlett, in her tailored blazer and pearls, was already halfway through her second glass of wine. She was the eldest, the lawyer, the one who always knew better. Valentine, the startup bro with a crypto obsession and a jawline that got him out of parking tickets, leaned back with the smug ease of someone who thought success was genetic. And then there was me, the disappointment, the dropout, the creative one. I was telling the Hendersons about your internship at the insurance firm, Mom said, dabbing her mouth with a linen napkin. They said their son might have a connection for you. Isn't that exciting? I nodded, chewing slowly. That internship had lasted 3 weeks. 3 weeks of beige cubicles and passive aggressive emails. The only thing I learned was how to cry silently in a bathroom stall. Are you still doing that design thing? Scarlett asked, waving her fork vaguely. She stopped all that nonsense, Mom said before I could answer. Didn't you, Mackenzie? I opened my mouth, then closed it again. Layla's voice echoed in my head. You don't owe them the truth. Not yet. So I smiled. Yeah, I stopped. Dad finally spoke, his voice clipped. Good. Time to focus on something real. He didn't look at me when he said it. He didn't need to. The words hit anyway. I excused myself after dessert, claiming a headache. No one stopped me. No one asked if I was okay. In my room, I kicked off the heels Mom insisted I wear and flopped onto the bed. My laptop was already open, waiting. Notifications blinked in the corner of the screen like little beacons of light in a sea of bullshit. One new email. Subject: urgent, charitable. Futures Foundation, request for Nova Fire. My heart thumped once, hard. I clicked it open. Dear Nova Fire, we are thrilled to inform you that your generous donations have made you our top contributor this year. Our annual gala is approaching, and we would love to honor you during the event. If you're open to it, we'd like to feature you in a special tribute. You may remain anonymous as always, or choose to reveal your identity. Either way, your impact deserves to be celebrated. Please let us know your preference. Warm regards, Chad Lucas, Event Director. I stared at the screen, rereading the words. My hands trembled slightly. Top contributor. They had no idea who I really was, and neither did my family. I pulled up my dashboard. Nova Fire's channel had just crossed 3.8 million subscribers. Last month's revenue, $142,000. 30% of that had gone straight to charities, cancer research, mental health support, scholarships for underprivileged kids, all under Nova Fire's name. All while my parents paraded me around like a failure who finally came to her senses. I clicked over to my messages. Layla had already seen the email. Layla, OMG, you have to go. This is it. This is the moment. Me, it's too risky. What if they find out? Layla, isn't that the point? I didn't answer right away. My reflection in the dark laptop screen looked like a ghost, pale, tired. But there was something else in my eyes, too. Fire. I remembered the day I launched Nova Fire, the night after my dad told me I was wasting oxygen. I'd cried until my ribs hurt. Then I built a brand from scratch. Layla did the graphics, I did the content. I studied algorithms, learned editing, built a community. I wore a mask in every stream, black, sleek, with glowing red eyes. I made sure no one could trace anything back to me. And now They wanted to honor me at a gala. The irony was too perfect. I typed a reply. Hi, Chad. Thank you for the kind words. I'm honored. I'd be happy to provide a video tribute. I prefer to keep my identity private for now, but I'll make it meaningful. Best Nova Fire, I hit send. Then I sat back and laughed. Not a loud, triumphant laugh, more like a quiet, broken one. They thought I'd quit. They thought I gave up, but I was just getting started. Okay, camera on, mic check, and we're live in three, two. I hit the button and smiled behind my mask. Hey, Fire Fam, Nova Fire here. Hope you brought your A game. The chat exploded instantly. OMG, she's on. Queen. Let's go. Did you see the new merch drop? I kept my voice steady, upbeat, like always. Tonight's stream is a charity collab with our friends at Pixel Hearts. All ad revenue and donations are going straight to kids' cancer research, so let's make some magic. I launched into the game, fingers flying across the keyboard. The screen lit up with explosions, power ups, and a steady scroll of donations. Every time someone gave, a little fireball animation popped up with their name. $100. From ex Shadow, oh boy, for my little sis. Beat cancer last year. Thanks, Nova. I read it out loud. Shadow boy, that's incredible. Sending love to your sister. The chat filled with hearts. This was my real family. 2 hours later, I ended the stream and pulled off the mask. My face was flushed, sweaty, but I felt electric. I always did after a good stream. My phone buzzed. Layla, I just watched the whole thing. You're a machine. Also, check your email. Something wild just came in. I opened my inbox. Subject: Invitation. Charitable Futures Gala. My stomach dropped. Dear Ms. Gonzalez, we're delighted to extend an invitation to the Charitable Futures Gala, an exclusive evening celebrating philanthropy and innovation. We believe this event will be a wonderful opportunity for you to connect with professionals across industries. Warmly, Noel, my mother. I opened the attachment. It was a glossy PDF with gold trim and cursive fonts. I scrolled down. Location: the Fairmont Grand Ballroom. Dress code: formal. Keynote speakers: Reginald Gonzalez, Dr. Alton Price, etc. I blinked. My father was speaking at the same gala that would be honoring Nova Fire. I called Layla. She picked up on the first ring. You saw it? They're taking me to the gala. She laughed. You've got to be kidding. I'm not. This is the same event, same night, same everything. You think they know? No way. They just think it's a networking thing. My mom said, maybe you'll meet someone who can help you regroup. Layla snorted. Regroup? Like you're a failed startup. I dropped onto my bed. What do I do? She didn't answer right away. Then, do you want them to find out? I don't know. Liar. I smiled. Okay, maybe a little. She paused. Then let them walk into it. Let them see who you really are, on your terms. I didn't say anything. I just stared at the ceiling, heart pounding. Later that night, I sat at my desk, organizing files. I had to prep for the tribute video. I opened a folder labeled NF Charity Vid and started dragging in clips, gameplay, donation reactions, fan letters. Behind me, my door creaked open. Hey, Scarlett said, peeking in. Mom said dinner's ready. I minimized everything fast. Be there in a sec. She stepped inside, eyes scanning the room. You still using that old laptop? It works fine. She walked over to the desk, reaching for the mouse. Don't touch that, I said, a little too fast. She froze. Relax. She leaned closer to the screen. What's this? Nova? Something? It's nothing, I said, clicking out of the window. She raised an eyebrow. You're acting weird. I'm just tired. She shrugged. Whatever. Just don't get into anything embarrassing again. Remember that merch store? God, Mom nearly had a stroke. She left, laughing to herself. I waited until the hallway was quiet before dragging the folder into an encrypted drive. My hands were shaking. The next day, I met Layla at the coffee shop near her apartment. She had her laptop open, working on a new overlay for my next stream. You need to see this, she said, spinning the screen toward me. It was a mock up of the tribute video. My voice played over a montage of gameplay clips, fan reactions, and donation milestones. I didn't think people would care this much, I said quietly. They do, she said, because you cared first. The final frame faded in, my masked face slowly dissolving into static, then black. You can reveal your face at the end, she said. Or not. Up to you. I stared at it for a long time. I'll think about it. She nodded. Just remember, this isn't about them. It's about you. Your story. I looked out the window. Across the street, a little girl in a Nova Fire hoodie skipped beside her mom, clutching a plushie from my merch line. I smiled. Back at home, Mom was waiting. I had your dress taken in, she said, holding up a garment bag. You'll look lovely at the gala, just try not to wear sneakers. I took the bag. Thanks. She studied me for a second. You've been different lately. Different how? Quieter, more focused. It's good. I think you're finally maturing. I nodded, biting the inside of my cheek. She smiled like she'd won something. I went upstairs and unzipped the garment bag. Inside was a simple, elegant black dress. Not my style, but it would do. I hung it up and sat at my desk, pulling up the tribute video again. This time, I didn't flinch when my voice played. I was told I was wasting my time, that no one would ever care about a girl who played games, but I found something real, a community, a purpose, and now I'm giving back. I paused the video, staring at the frozen frame of my masked face. They had no idea what was coming, and I wasn't going to stop it. Guess what? Mom called from the kitchen. We got the final confirmation. You're coming to the gala. I looked up from my cereal. You already told me that. Well, now it's official, and they added your father to the speaker list. Isn't that exciting? Scarlett walked in, heels clicking. I saw the guest list. It's stacked. Politicians, CEOs, even someone from one of those streaming companies. Valentine strolled in right behind her, phone in hand, grinning. You ready to be paraded around like a charity case, Mac? Can't wait, I muttered. Mom didn't hear the sarcasm. It's a wonderful networking opportunity. You never know who you'll meet. Dad walked in last, already dressed like he was about to step on stage. Just don't embarrass us. No slouching. Speak clearly. Smile. Scarlett leaned against the counter. And try not to look like you're dying inside. I stood up, bowl in hand. Thanks for the tips. As I rinsed the bowl, my phone buzzed in my pocket. Layla, video's rendering. Want to review it tonight? Me. Absolutely. After dinner. Layla. Also, you might want to check this. She sent a screenshot. It was a tweet from the charity's official account. Biggest donor reveal coming at the gala. Nova Fire's story will blow your mind. Charity unlocked. I stared at it, my stomach twisted. Back in my room, I locked the door and opened the tribute draft. Layla had added a new section, fan submitted clips, people thanking Nova Fire, parents, kids, a nurse from a children's hospital. It was raw and beautiful. Then came my voiceover. I used to think that being invisible was safer, but silence doesn't protect you, it just lets other people write your story. I paused it there. My reflection stared back at me from the black screen. Later that night, I was organizing files again when I heard footsteps outside my door. I minimized everything and yanked out my headphones. Knock, knock. It was Valentine. Yo, he said, leaning in like he owned the place. Mom said to ask if you're almost ready. We're doing a family dinner before the gala. I nodded. Yeah, just finishing something. He glanced at my screen. Still playing around with that editing stuff? It's for a friend, he smirked. You always say that. I didn't answer. He walked in further, eyeing the desk. What's this folder? NF assets. Don't touch that. He reached for the mouse anyway. I slapped his hand away. I said don't. He raised both hands, laughing. Relax. Sensitive much? Get out. Geez, all right, just trying to see if you finally got a hobby that pays. As soon as he left, I locked the folder behind 3 layers of encryption. My heart was pounding. I called Layla. He almost opened the tribute folder. Are you serious? Dead serious. Okay, we need to move everything offline. I'll bring a hard drive tomorrow. Don't risk it. I nodded, even though she couldn't see me. Thanks. You okay? Not really. She sighed. You don't have to go through with it, you know. You could stay anonymous. Keep the mask. I was quiet for a long time. I want them to know. The next day, Layla came over with the hard drive. We sat on my bed, transferring everything. She handed me a thumb drive with the final video. You sure you're ready? I nodded. I've never been more sure. She hesitated. Just remember, this isn't just a reveal. It's a reckoning. You don't know how they'll react. I'm not doing it for them. She smiled. Good, because they don't deserve it. That night, I stood in front of the mirror wearing the dress Mom picked. Black, sleek, too tight at the ribs. She came in and fussed with my hair. You look lovely. Try to keep your posture straight. You always hunch. Thanks. She handed me a clutch. Put your phone away during the event. And don't wander off. Scarlett peeked in. Car's here. We piled into the SUV like a glossy, perfect family. Dad in his tailored suit, Scarlett and Valentin talking about some hedge fund guy they hope to meet. Mom scrolling through the gala program on her phone. Looks like they're doing a video tribute for their top donor, she said. Some anonymous gamer. Can you imagine? Valentin laughed. Probably some dude in his mom's basement. Scarlett nodded. Or a YouTuber with a trust fund. Mom shook her head. It's probably just a gimmick. They're trying to appeal to the younger crowd. I stared out the window, biting my lips so hard it almost bled. At the venue, everything was gold and glass and glitter. Cameras flashed, waiters floated by with champagne. A string quartet played something expensive sounding. We walked through the crowd like we belonged there. This is our youngest, Mom said to a woman in pearls. She's figuring things out. I smiled and shook hands. Scarlett was already chatting up a tech investor. Valentine disappeared toward the bar. Dad stood near the stage, rehearsing his speech under his breath. I wandered to the edge of the room and pulled out my phone. The tribute video was queued up, ready to go. I texted Layla. Me. It's happening. Layla. I'm watching the stream with popcorn. Me. Wish me luck. Layla. You don't need it. You're fire. I looked up as the lights dimmed. The announcer stepped onto the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight. We've raised over $2 million this year, thanks in large part to one anonymous donor, a digital creator who's used pixels and passion to change lives. I held my breath, and tonight we honor them. The screen behind him flickered to life. The first clip rolled Nova Fire. Me, and the game was on. The screen lit up and the room hushed. It started with gameplay, fast cuts of Nova Fire in action, explosions, clutch wins, laughter. My voice, modulated and calm, floated over the footage. I started streaming in a dark room with a broken mic and a secondhand PC. I didn't have much, just a lot of doubt and a little fire. People chuckled. The kind of polite laughter you give when you don't quite get the joke but feel like you should. Valentine leaned over to Scarlett. This is the donor? She shrugged. I guess. The video continued. Clips of donation milestones, fan shoutouts, charity goals hit live on stream. A little girl in a hospital bed holding a Nova Fire plushie, a teenager in a wheelchair talking about how the channel helped him feel seen. I was told I was wasting my time, that no one would ever care about a girl who played games. Scarlett blinked. Wait, did she say girl? Mom tilted her head. That voice sounds familiar. I was told to grow up, to get serious, but I was serious. About community, about giving back, about proving that kindness and pixels could coexist. The screen faded to black. Then came the childhood footage. I'd added it at the last minute. A grainy clip of me, age 11, in a Nova hoodie, holding up my first controller like it was a trophy. My voice cracked in the video. I'm gonna be a pro gamer one day. The room laughed again, softer this time. Then came the silence. The mask appeared. Black, sleek, the glowing red eyes. It slowly faded, and there I was. No mask, no filter, just me, staring straight into the camera. My name is Mackenzie. I'm Nova Fire. Thank you for believing in me when no one else did. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the room erupted. Applause, cheers. People stood. A few gasped. Someone near the front wiped their eyes. I didn't look at the crowd. I looked at my family. Valentine's champagne glass slipped from his fingers and shattered on the floor. Scarlett's mouth was open, frozen in mid breath. Mom's face had gone pale, her hand clutching her clutch like it was the only thing keeping her upright. Dad didn't move. His jaw was clenched so tight I thought his teeth might crack. I stepped forward as the announcer returned to the mic. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Nova Fire, Mackenzie, to the stage. The spotlight hit me. I walked toward it like I'd done it 1,000 times before, but my hands were shaking. The applause didn't stop. I stepped up, took the mic. The MC smiled. Mackenzie, your story has touched millions. You've raised over $600,000 this year alone through your platform. How does it feel to finally be seen? I looked out over the crowd. The lights made it hard to see faces, but I could still feel their eyes. It's surreal, I said. I never thought I'd be standing here, especially not after being told this dream was embarrassing. But I kept going, quietly. And now, I'm here. More applause. I held the mic a little tighter. I didn't do this alone. My community, my fire fam, lifted me up every time I doubted myself. They reminded me that worth isn't decided by titles or salaries, it's decided by impact. The MC nodded. Beautifully said. I turned slightly, scanning the crowd until I found him. Christian Ramos. He stood near the back, hands in his pockets, grinning like he knew exactly what this moment meant. He gave me a small nod. I nodded back. The MC gestured toward the screen. We'll be posting the full tribute video on our site later tonight. For now, let's give Mackenzie one more round of applause. The crowd rose again. I stepped down, heart pounding, legs numb. As I made my way back to my table, people reached out to shake my hand. Compliments flew past me like confetti. Incredible story. You're an inspiration? My daughter watches you every day. I smiled, nodded, said thank you. Then I reached my family's table. No one said a word. Scarlett was the first to speak. That was you? I nodded. Valentin blinked. You've been doing this the whole time? Yep. Mom finally found her voice. Why wouldn't you tell us? I looked at her. Would you have listened? She opened her mouth, then closed it. Dad's voice was low. You lied. No, I said. I protected what mattered to me. He shook his head. You humiliated us. No, I said again, louder this time. I just stopped hiding. They didn't respond. I sat down, picked up my water glass, and took a sip like it was any other night. Across the room, the MC was introducing the next speaker, my father. He didn't move. Scarlett leaned over. Are you going to speak? He stood, slowly adjusting his tie. His hands were shaking. He walked toward the stage, stiff and silent. I watched him go. Layla texted me. Layla, holy shit, you did it. Me, it's not over yet. Layla, I'm proud of you. I looked back at the stage. Dad stood at the mic, clearing his throat. Good evening, he began. Tonight I was supposed to speak about innovation and leadership, but instead I'd like to speak about humility. He paused. Some people shifted in their seats. I've just learned something about my daughter that I didn't know, something extraordinary, and I'd like to take a moment to say, publicly, that I was wrong. Gasps rippled through the room. I stared. He looked directly at me. I didn't see her, not really. But tonight, the world did. And I'm thankful for that. The applause was softer this time, more thoughtful. He stepped down and returned to the table. No one said anything. But I could feel the shift in the air. Something had cracked, and I wasn't the one who broke. The ballroom buzzed with whispers. People kept glancing at me, then back at their phones, probably pulling up the tribute video online. A few tried to sneak photos. Someone even asked for a selfie while I was walking back from the restroom. I said yes, not because I wanted to be famous, because I wanted to be real. Back at our table, Mom was dabbing her eyes with a napkin. Scarlett stared at her half eaten dessert like it held the answers to all her problems. Valentine had his phone out, scrolling furiously. You didn't tell us, Mom said again, softer this time. I met her eyes. I did, just not with words. Dad sat stiffly, arms crossed. You made us look like fools. I leaned forward. You did that all by yourselves. Scarlett finally looked up. How long? 2 years. Valentine let out a low whistle. And you never slipped up? Not once? Almost, I said, but I learned to be careful. He shook his head. Damn, you really played the long game. I didn't respond. I didn't need to. A waiter appeared with a tray of champagne. I declined. My hands were still shaking slightly, and I didn't trust them not to drop the glass. Across the room, Christian was talking to a group of streamers and influencers. I recognized a few from collabs. When he caught my eye, he gave me a thumbs up. I smiled back. The MC returned to the mic. We're honored tonight to have Novafire with us, but we also want to thank the entire digital creator community for stepping up in ways we never imagined. Together, you've raised over $3 million for causes that matter. Applause again. Scarlett leaned over. So, what now? You just keep doing this? I was never going to stop, I said. You just finally noticed. Mom straightened up, smoothing her dress. We'll need to talk about how this affects the family, the name, your father's board positions. I'm not your PR problem, I said. I'm not your project. She blinked. That's not what I meant. It's exactly what you meant. Valentine looked up from his phone. You're trending. I raised an eyebrow. Good trending or bad trending? Both, he said. Some people think it's badass. Others think you embarrassed your family. I'm okay with both. He grinned. You always were a little savage. Scarlett leaned back in her chair. You know, if you ever want legal help with contracts, I have experience. I stared at her. She shrugged. Just saying. The night wore on. More speeches, more awards, more people trying to act like they weren't dying to ask me a million questions. When the event finally ended, we walked out into the cool night air. The valet line was long. Mom kept glancing around, probably hoping no one would recognize her. Too late for that. As we waited, a woman in a red dress approached me. Excuse me, she said. I just wanted to say thank you. My son watches your streams. He's autistic. You're the one person who makes him feel included. I swallowed hard. Thank you. That means everything. She smiled, touched my arm, and walked away. Scarlett looked at me differently after that. In the car, no one spoke. The silence was thick. When we got home, I headed straight to my room. I kicked off my shoes and collapsed onto the bed. My phone buzzed. Layla, you broke the internet. Me, feels like I broke my family. Layla, they were already cracked. You just turned on the lights. Me, they're spiraling. Layla, good. Let them. Me, is that too harsh? Layla, no, it's karma. I stared at the screen for a while. Then I opened my email. There were hundreds brands, journalists, fans, one from a morning show producer, even a message from a major gaming company asking if I'd be open to designing a charity bundle. But one email stood out from Christian. Subject, proud of you. Hey, I just wanted to say, you handled that like a legend. The video, the speech, the reveal, flawless. If you ever want to collab again, or if you just need someone who gets it, hit me up. We've got your back. See? I smiled. Then I heard voices downstairs, loud ones. I cracked open my door. She made us look small, Reginald, in front of everyone. I told you to leave her alone. You pushed her into hiding. She lied to us. She survived us. I shut the door again. Layla was right. They were already cracked. I just stopped pretending they weren't. I went back to my laptop, opened the dashboard, and hit Go Live. The chat exploded the moment the stream started. She's back. Queen Nova Fire. We saw you at the gala. I'm gay. I leaned into the mic. Hey, Fire fam, you saw what happened. You know the truth now. I'm not hiding anymore. Hearts and emojis flooded the screen. I smiled. For everyone who's ever been told to sit down, shut up, and be someone else, this one's for you. And I hit start. The next morning, I woke up to chaos. My phone had 87 unread messages. Layla had texted me 3 times in all caps. Scarlett called twice, and there were 2 voicemails from Dad. I didn't listen to them. Instead, I opened Twitter. Nova Fire Reveal was still trending. A clip of my tribute video had over 4 million views. Someone had turned my I'm not hiding anymore line into a soundbite. It was already being used in TikToks, but that wasn't the chaos. The chaos was in a Reddit thread someone had started. My sister is Nova Fire and lied to our whole family for years. Alma. Posted by Valbro24. I stared at the screen, jaw slack. He did not. I clicked it. The post was short. I just found out my younger sister is the anonymous gamer streamer Nova Fire. She revealed herself at a charity gala last night. Ask me anything. The top comment, why do you sound jealous? Second top, sounds like she's the main character and you're just mad about it. Third, tell her we love her. You? Not so much. I burst out laughing. Then I called Layla. You saw it? She asked. Valentine started a Reddit AMA about me. Of course he did. Does he think this makes him look cool? People are roasting him in the comments. Good. She paused. You okay? I think so. Just overwhelmed. Want me to come over? Yeah. 20 minutes later, she was in my room, sitting cross legged on my bed, laptop open. We need to talk about next steps, she said. You're about to get flooded with offers, interviews, sponsorships. Everyone wants a piece now. I nodded. I already got emails from 2 networks. And that collab invite from Christian? Yeah, he wants to do a dual charity stream next month. Layla grinned. Iconic. We were mid planning when Mom knocked. I tensed. Layla gave me a look like, want me to vanish? I shook my head. Come in, I said. Mom stepped in, holding a mug of tea like a peace offering. I figured you might need this. I took it. Thanks. She looked at Layla, then back at me. Could we talk? Alone? Layla stood. I'll be downstairs. Once she was gone, Mom sat on the edge of the bed. I didn't know, she said quietly. I had no idea you were doing all that. I didn't think you'd care. She flinched. I deserve that. We sat in silence for a moment. I watched the video again this morning, she said. I cried. Not because I was embarrassed, because I realized how much I missed. You didn't miss it, I said. You ignored it. She looked down. I thought I was helping, pushing you towards something safe. You pushed me away. Her voice cracked. I'm sorry. I didn't say anything. She stood. I don't expect forgiveness, but I'm proud of you. Truly. Then she left. I stared at the door for a long time. Later that afternoon, I got a text from Christian. Christian, yo, you free to hop on a stream tonight? Just a chill Q&A, no pressure. Me, yeah, let's do it. Christian, cool, I'll set it up. You good with doing it face cam this time? I hesitated. Then, me, yeah, I'm ready. That night, I sat at my desk, camera on, no mask. The chat exploded the second we went live. She's real, OMG, Nova Fire, face reveal again. Christian, Nova Woe Power Duo. Christian grinned from his screen. So, Mackenzie, how's it feel being the internet's new favorite rebel? I laughed. Weird, but good. Mostly good. He nodded. You broke the mold. Did it your way. Had to. No one else was going to hand me a seat at the table. The chat lit up. Preach! This is why we stand. Christian leaned in. So, what now? More charity streams, more collabs. I want to use this momentum to actually help people, not just ride the high. He smiled. Respect. We played a few rounds of a co op game. The chat was wild memes, hearts, people sharing their own stories. Then someone donated $5,000. From your fire fam message, you gave us hope. Here's some back. I blinked fast. Christian read it out loud. Damn, that hit. I nodded. Yeah, it did. After the stream, I shut everything down and just sat there. Then my phone buzzed again. A voicemail. From Dad. I hit play. Your little stunt has consequences. I've already had two board members call me asking if I knew. I told them I didn't, but they're not happy. This isn't just about you. It affects all of us. Click. I stared at the screen. Then I deleted it. Layla came back upstairs with popcorn. How'd it go? Great, I said. Except for the part where my dad thinks I ruined his reputation. She snorted. He ruined his own reputation. You just gave people the receipts. I turned to her. You didn't leak anything, right? She paused, then smiled. I didn't. But someone might have found those old voicemails you saved. The ones where he called you a failure? My eyes widened. Layla. She shrugged. I didn't send them, but I didn't stop it either. I covered my mouth, half laughing, half horrified. They're out there? Yep, and people are pissed. Some PR guy tried to defend him on a podcast. It backfired. I shook my head. This is insane. She grinned. This is karma. And for once, I didn't argue. The next morning, the house was quiet. Too quiet. No clinking dishes. No dad barking into a phone. No mom humming while she rearranged things that didn't need rearranging. I walked downstairs and found them both at the kitchen table. The TV was on mute, but the headline at the bottom of the screen was impossible to miss. Revealed Nova fires family. Ties to local business leader under fire for past comments. Underneath was a side by side photo, me in my gala dress and dad at a corporate event, looking like he'd just smelled something sour. Mom looked up. They're replaying the voicemail clips. Dad didn't look at me. Someone leaked them. I leaned against the counter. I didn't. He finally met my eyes. Doesn't matter. They're out there now. I shrugged. Maybe don't call your daughter a waste of potential in a voicemail next time. His jaw clenched. I was frustrated. You were cruel. Mom rubbed her temples. They're asking him to step down from the board. I didn't say anything. You could fix this, Dad said. A public statement. Say you forgive me. Say it was taken out of context. My laugh was sharp. You want me to clean up your mess? I want you to think about the family name. I did, I said. That's why I changed mine online. He stood abruptly, knocking his chair back. You're ungrateful. No, I said. I'm free. He stormed out. Mom sat there, staring into her coffee like it might offer a solution. I turned and walked out, grabbing my keys. Layla was waiting outside her apartment when I pulled up. You look like someone who just watched a man's ego implode, she said, climbing into the passenger seat. I did, I said. It was beautiful. She laughed. You ready for the interview? I nodded. Let's do it. The studio was small but professional. Lights, cameras, a makeup artist who tried to tame the frizz in my hair. The host was a woman named Tasha, warm smiles, firm handshake, eyes that missed nothing. We're thrilled to have you, Mackenzie, she said. You've sparked a massive conversation about family, identity, and success. I sat across from her, mic clipped to my collar. The cameras rolled. So, Tasha began, you've been anonymous for years. Why reveal yourself now? I looked straight at the camera. Because I was tired of pretending to be less than I am to make other people comfortable. She nodded. A lot of people resonated with your story, but some say it was a calculated move, a revenge play. I smiled. It wasn't revenge, it was truth. If the truth hurts, maybe it should. The comment section on the live stream lit up. Yes, she's not playing games anymore. This is what accountability looks like. Tasha leaned in. Your father's voicemail, it's gone viral. Do you want to respond? I shook my head. The voicemail speaks for itself. I don't need to add anything. Do you forgive him? I paused. I don't think forgiveness is a switch you flip, it's a process, and I'm still in it. She let the silence breathe. What would you tell people who are in your shoes right now? I didn't hesitate. Don't wait for permission to be who you are. Build your own table, sit at it, invite people who see you. The interview ended with a standing ovation from the small studio audience. Back outside, Layla hugged me. You killed it. I exhaled. I feel like I just took off a 100-pound backpack. She grinned. You did. And you threw it at someone's face on live TV. By the time we got home, my phone was blowing up again. Scarlett had texted, Can we talk? Just us? Please. I hesitated, then replied, Fine, come over. She arrived looking not like Scarlett. No blazer, no heels, just jeans and a hoodie. I'm not here to fight, she said, stepping into my room. Good, you'd lose. She smirked. Fair. We sat on the floor, backs against the bed. I watched the interview, she said. You were amazing. Thanks. She picked at a thread on her sleeve. I was awful to you. Yeah, I thought I was helping, pushing you to be better. I didn't realize I was just pushing you away. I didn't say anything. I'm sorry, she said. Really? I looked at her. You know what the worst part was? What? Every time I succeeded, I imagined your voices telling me it wasn't enough. Even when I hit 1 million subscribers, I still heard Dad saying, It's not a real job. She looked down. I hate that. I don't need you to hate it, I said. I need you to mean it when you say you're proud. I do, she said. I'm proud of you, and I want to do better. I nodded slowly. She stood. If you ever want legal help with contracts, I'm serious this time. I smiled. I'll think about it. That night, I streamed again. The chat was packed. I saw the interview. Your sister's a lawyer? LMO plot twist. Nova Fire's origin story is better than any Marvel movie. I leaned into the mic. Hey, Fire fam, thanks for sticking with me through all of this. I don't have all the answers yet, but I know one thing this community saved me. So now I'm going to keep paying it forward. The donations started rolling in. I smiled. Outside, the house was still tense. But in here, in this space I built from scratch, I was untouchable. And for the first time in a long time, I felt whole. I was halfway through editing a new sponsorship clip when my phone buzzed. Again, another unknown number, another voicemail. I didn't check it. Instead, I opened my email. 3 new interview requests, 2 collab offers, one from a streaming platform asking if I'd be the face of their new charity initiative. I clicked maybe on all of them. Then I heard footsteps in the hallway. A knock followed. Scarlett poked her head in. You decent? Define decent. She stepped in, holding 2 iced coffees. Peace offering. I took one. Thanks. She sat on the edge of my bed. So, I just got off the phone with a guy from a media law firm. He wants to represent you. Me? Yeah, apparently you're a brand with integrity and vision. His words, not mine. I raised an eyebrow. And you? I told him to get in line. I laughed. Scarlett sipped her drink. Mom's been crying all morning. She says she wants to start over. I leaned back in my chair. She said the same thing after she threw out my old merch hoodie. Remember that? She used it to clean the windows. Yeah. Scarlett looked at me. You gonna let her back in? I shrugged. I don't know. I'm still figuring that out. She nodded. Fair. We sat in silence for a minute. Then she stood. Just don't shut everyone out, okay? Some of us are trying. I looked up at her. I know. After she left, I pulled open my closet. The back corner still held the dress from the gala, shoved in a plastic bag. I pushed it aside. Behind it, my old Nova Fire hoodie, the one Mom said made me look homeless. I pulled it out. It still smelled faintly like cinnamon and dust. I put it on. Downstairs, the front door opened. Voices. I peeked over the banister. Dad walked in, stiff as ever. Mom followed, holding her phone like it was glued to her palm. Neither of them looked up. I went back to my room, not hiding, just done with the performance. Later that night, Layla came over with takeout and a USB drive. I brought the final cut of the documentary reel, she said, the one for the streaming awards. I raised an eyebrow. You finished it already? She grinned. I don't sleep. We sat on the floor, eating noodles and watching the video. It opened with fan clips, then cut to my old streams, the gala reveal, and finally, me sitting in this very room, mask off. It's not about revenge, I said in the video. It's about being seen. And if that shakes a few people up, good. Layla looked over. You sure you're ready for this level of attention? I'm not sure of anything, I said. But I'm not scared anymore. She smiled. That's enough. The next morning, I walked into the kitchen to find Mom sitting at the table, phone off, hands folded. I made breakfast, she said. I looked at the plate. Toast, eggs, sliced avocado. I sat down across from her. She cleared her throat. I know I can't undo what I said or how I made you feel, but I want to try to be different, if you'll let me. I picked up a fork. Trying's a start. She nodded, eyes wet. Dad didn't come in. I didn't expect him to. After breakfast, I went upstairs and opened my childhood bedroom closet. The trophies were still there: Scarlett's debate medals, Valentin's science fair ribbons, even a framed article about Dad's business award. Nothing of mine. I pulled out a box from under the bed. Inside was the first NovaFire logo sketch Layla ever drew. A cracked controller, a sticker from my first merch drop, a thank you card from a kid named Eli who said my streams helped him through chemo. I took the box downstairs. Mom looked up from the sink. What's that? Stuff you forgot I did. I set it on the counter. She opened it slowly. Her fingers trembled as she picked up the sticker. I didn't know, she whispered. I know. I left her there with it. That night, I went live. No mask, just me. Hoodie on, hair messy, face calm. Hey, Fire Fam, I said. It's been a wild week. I've gotten a lot of messages. Some angry, some kind, some confused. The chat flew. We got your back. Take your time. We're not going anywhere. You're more than a story. You're our person. I smiled. I just wanted to say thank you for seeing me when others didn't, for sticking around even when I was scared to show my face. I paused. Revenge doesn't fix everything, but it gave me enough peace to keep going. And that's enough for now. I leaned back in my chair, watching the screen fill with hearts, fire emojis, and messages from strangers who somehow felt like family. The camera kept rolling, and I let it.